DJ Ray. I'm here every Tuesday live on TikTok and Facebook. 8 p.m. live every Tuesday with my show DJ Ray's Music Goats. The GOATs standing for, of course, the greatest of all time. Nice pick, Ange. Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah. So basically every week I pick a different music theme to find the greatest of. This week it's going to be the greatest 70s song of all time. So it's going to be tough. What the heck was that? I've never seen that one before. That's really cool. Yeah, so if you, Forrest Gump style, you guys are a hoot. So feel free to type in, how do I get in? I have a friend asking how to get in on Facebook. Just 1 sec. Okay, well, it's 8:02. I got to get started here. So taps are free, guys. So feel free to tap your hearts out. I love it. Right? The little hearts. Okay, so tonight's theme is the greatest 70s song of all time. We're going to crown, and I think I got this exactly right, the number one 70s song. And I'm not just talking disco, rock, contemporary, R&B, soul. I'm talking any song, slow, fast. So this is going to be hard to pick the number one, but I'll give you, you know what? Like I almost want to give two titles if you can pick the number one song this time. But it is huge, obviously. So all of these 20 songs are huge. But there's so many huge songs from the 70s. That's my only concern. But you guys type in the chat who you think is what song you think is the number one of all time. You don't necessarily have to say the artist if you don't know it. I'll probably know who the artist is, but just at least put in the title. So let's get started. At number 20, greatest 70s song of all time, coming in at number 20 spots away from number one, is The Captain and Tennille with Love Will Keep Us Together. Originally recorded by Neil Sedaka in 1973, this cute husband and wife duet topped the music charts in Canada and the US. It also topped the year-end charts in both countries. Record World magazine said that this song was a stylish duet that would help propel Captain and Tennille into the same level as the Carpenters, who were siblings rather than spouses. On February 28, 1976, Love Will Keep Us Together won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year. So that's the kind of level of quality we're starting off with. Records of the Year, Grammy Awards, and at number 20. And I'm sure you guys all remember that song, right? Love will keep us, love will keep us together. So there you go. Song number 20 goes to The Captain and Tennille with Love Will Keep Us Together. Greatest 70s song of all time. We're going to move on to number 19. Number 19 comes to us from KC and the Sunshine Band, and the song is called That's the Way I Like It. This disco band took its name from a combination of lead singer Harry Wayne Casey's surname and his home state of Florida, aka the Sunshine State. Combined together, you guessed it, you got Casey and the Sunshine Band. Released on June 10th, 1975, That's the Way I Like It became the band's second number one US single and is one of the few chart toppers in history to reach the number one spot on more than one occasion, during a 1 month period, that is. At the heart of the disco movement, this high-energy track topped the charts in the Netherlands, Canada, and the US. And they had a lot of great songs. I don't know that That's the Way I Like It is my personal favorite, because there's a lot of great Casey and the Sunshine Band songs, but it was definitely the most popular. And it comes in at number 19. Casey and the Sunshine Band with That's the Way I Like It. Yeah, great song, Mary. I agree with you. It's so good to get so many people that know music together. Like all you guys seem to know your music. Hey, Frankie, what's going on, buddy? It's so cool. Yes, okay. Let's keep going here. Just checking out some of your picks and what you guys are saying. Okay. So yeah, so far we have Love Will Keep Us Together at number 20. That's the Way I Like It by Casey and the Sunshine Band at number 19. And number 18 goes to a little rock band known as Styx. And the song's called Babe. Released in 1979, This love ballad was written by singer Dennis DeYoung as a birthday present for his wife Suzanne. Its massive popularity helped the song become the band's only #1 hit in the US. It also topped the charts in Canada, where it spent a total of 6 weeks at the #1 position. Eventually, it would go on to win the People's Choice Award as Best Song of the Year. In popular culture, this single was included on the 1999 soundtrack to the film Big Daddy, starring Adam Sandler. In the movie, Adam Sandler's character, Sonny Koufax, was a huge Styx fan. Coming in at number 18, it Styx with Babe. Another one of those ones, like Stairway to Heaven, at the end of the night, 1978, you're in the gym and you're still in school and you look around the room, all the girls are on one side, all the boys are on the other side, you eye each other. It's like, you can't make that stuff up. Those were the good old days. Anyways, number 18 goes to Styx and Babe. Just before I carry on, I want to remind you, I'm DJ Ray. I'm here live every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on both Facebook and TikTok, doing my show, DJ Ray's Music Goats. Of course, GOAT standing for, Uncle Mike, look at you digging in there. Let It Be by the Beatles, what a choice. And you know what? That song just made it into the 70s. That's a sleeper, buddy. But that's all I'm going to say. So, I'm here every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock religiously, and we have a different theme every week, picking the GOAT of different music themes. Tonight I want to know, and I want you guys to know, who the greatest song of all time is. It could be a one-hit wonder. It doesn't have to be the best band. It has to be the best song. Just remember that. And if you haven't already typed the song in, feel free to type it into the chat there so we can see who's the #1. I keep track of all the champions. And, I think so far we got a 3-way tie at 2. I think Mary G has 2 titles. I think Mummy Dearest, my own mummy, has 2. And I believe my sister Ange has 2. And Uncle Mike has 1. And I think that's about it since we started doing this. So keep those guesses coming in for the #1 song. And let's continue on. At number 17, a band called Wild Cherry. And this band is a bit of a one-hit wonder, speaking of. And the song is called Play That Funky Music. Released in April 1976, this one-hit wonder topped the American music charts with its innovative blend of rock and disco. Wild Cherry actually started out as a hard rock cover band, but with disco being so popular at the time, they found it increasingly difficult to book gigs. One night, while playing to a black audience at a club in Pittsburgh, a patron came up to band member Rob Parisi and said, "Are you going to play some funky music, white boy?" Immediately, Parisi grabbed a pen and wrote the song in about 5 minutes. The lyrics within literally describe the predicament of a hard rock band trying to adjust to the disco era. Certified platinum, in 2018, Billboard magazine included it on their list of the all-time top 100 songs. And of course, that song is Play That Funky Music by Wild Cherry, coming in at number 17. Great for roller skating. I'm assuming you mean not Babe, right? So Play That Funky Music. I can see that, hey, play that. When you think of that song, The Wild Cherry, it's too bad that band, I guess they were confused because they weren't really, whatever that song is, because people ask me at different times what genre Play That Funky Music falls under. And I don't know what to say because it falls under a few genres. I mean, my first thought is it rock, but it's not really rock. And then my second thought is disco. But it could be a lot of things. It's pop, but very innovative. And the 17th best 70s song of all time. Okay, let's go to number 16. One of my favorites of all time, and certainly my favorite Elton John song. Coming in at number 16, we have Crocodile Rock. Released in November 1972, this single was inspired by Elton John's discovery of Australian band Daddy Cool and their hit single Eagle Rock. The lyrics within Crocodile Rock include a reference to Bill Haley's 1950s track Rock Around the Clock. It topped the music charts in Italy, Switzerland, New Zealand, Canada, and the US. Billboard magazine stated that it has the sound and flavor of the 1950s, while Record World magazine called it a loving homage to revival rock and roll. In 2021, Elton John revealed that Crocodile Rock was written as a kind of a joke and that he doesn't really enjoy playing it anymore. However, he continued singing it during concerts because his fans really enjoy it. What a trooper. So yeah, number 16, I'm going to give that to Elton John and Crocodile Rock. And with that, again, a quick reminder, I'm DJ Ray. I'm here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock with a different theme, a different music goat, greatest of all time. Tonight, it's all about the greatest 70s song. Any genre, as long as it's from 1970 to 1979. If it was released in 1969, it wouldn't count. Even if it was on the charts in the 70s, it's not. You know what I'm saying? So, or 80s, same thing. So, 70s song showdown, yeah. And yeah, hi Lisa, how are you? If you haven't already typed in a what you think is the number one song, please feel free to put it in there on the chat. What you think? Show off. Look at, it's great to show everybody how you know your music. I mean, in the times that we're in right now, music is probably one of the few things that can still move us. You know what I mean? So, thank you for joining, and let's continue at song number 15. Talk about a career. This one goes out to Paul McCartney and Wings, and the song's called Silly Love Songs. Released in January 1976, this silly love song was written by Paul McCartney and then wife Linda. It rose to the number one spot in Ireland, Canada, and the US, while peaking at number 2 in the UK. It proved to be McCartney's 27th US number one single as a songwriter, which is the all-time record for most number ones written by any songwriter ever. He was prolific at that. In 2008, Silly Love Songs was listed at number 31 on Billboard's Greatest Songs of All Time, commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Hot 100 chart. Despite the song's popularity, Paul McCartney has not performed it live since the dissolution of Wings back in 1981. And I don't know, like Wings obviously paled compared to the Beatles, but, and I love the Beatles, but I gotta be honest, like I really, really love Wings. I don't know what it was. Paul McCartney was my favorite Beatle, and having him have control, remember, he didn't have full control of the Beatles. There was a lot of, between George, John, and Paul, they were all distinctly different, as you could see through the music, which is very cool. That's what made the Beatles music so cool. But I always found Paul McCartney was the man, really. And of course, kudos to John and George too, and Ringo, but Silly Love Songs comes in at number 15. As we continue, DJ Ray's greatest 70s song of all time. What's it going to be? Well, let's move on to number 14 and get a little closer. Number 14, the song is December 1963, and it's by the Four Seasons, with Frankie Valli, of course. Released in December 1975, this track was written by keyboardist Bob Gaudio. It features drummer Jerry Polci on lead vocals, which is a rarity, as Frankie Valli usually fills that position. In the case of December 63, however, Valli sang the bridge sections while contributing to backup vocals. It was a number one hit in many countries, including South Africa, Canada, the UK, and the US. Outside the perimeters of the Four Seasons' biggest years, December 63 was to be their last massive hit, and of course, their last number one. This was in their twilight years when they released this song, so this arguably could be the Four Seasons' best single, period. I remember loving the song as a kid and having my brother laugh at me whenever I'd sing it. I guess my vocal cords weren't quite as developed as they are now. Anyways, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And with that, we'll move on. Number 13, my favorite number, goes to Donna Summer and Bad Girls. This could have, this could have went many ways, but this is the way it falls. Released on June 23rd, 1979, this disco track was a massive success, peaking within the top 10 in several countries, including Spain, Belgium, Switzerland, and New Zealand. In Canada and the US, it was a #1 hit, topping the charts in both countries. Donna Summer made history as the first female artist to send multiple songs to Billboard's top 10, as Bad Girls vaulted up to the #5 position on its way to #1. At that same time, her earlier release, Hot Stuff, was sitting on the top of the charts, but it was knocked off by Bad Girls. Gotta like that when you knock your own #1 song off and put your other #1 song in. The Beatles were famous for that. In 1980, the song Bad Girls helped Donna Summer win the American Music Award for Favorite Female Pop Artist. And it was also Grammy nominated for Best Disco Recording at the 22nd Annual Grammy Awards Show. And that's number 13. So let's just give you a recap of what we've done so far. At number 20, we had Love Will Keep Us Together by Captain and Tennille. Number 19, That's the Way I Like It by KC and the Sunshine Band. At number 18, Babe by Styx. At number 17, we had Play That Funky Music by Wild Cherry. Number 16, Elton John with Crocodile Rock. At number 15, Paul McCartney and Wings came in with Silly Love Songs. At number 14, December 1963 by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. And at number 13, Bad Girls by Donna Summer. A couple away from the top 10 as we come in with number 12, Maggie May by Rod Stewart. How's that one for you? Released in July 1971, this classic rock track expresses the ambivalence and contradictory emotions of a boy who's involved in a relationship with an older woman. Come on, guys. You relate to me? Come on, Uncle Mike. Anyway, we'll leave that one alone. It peaked at #1 in Canada, the UK, and the US. In 2015, Rod Stewart stated, "At first I didn't think much of Maggie May. I guess that's because the record company didn't believe in the song. I didn't have much confidence then, so I figured it was best to listen to the guys who knew better. What I learned is sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Rod Stewart's never wrong." They didn't in this case. In 2004, Rolling Stone magazine included Maggie May on its list of the greatest songs of all time. And in 2017, it was officially inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. Coming in at number 12, Rod Stewart and Maggie May. Sorry, guys. If I seem like I get distracted sometimes, I'm just trying to follow the comments. I hate being left out. Yeah. Who's Johnny G? It's in the lobby there. Let's go grab some of these people out of the lobby. Come on in. Let's make a party out of it, guys. Hey, Cam, how are you? We got a fellow Canadian here. I love the... You know, I was checking on my whatever you call it, followers or whatever, and 83% of them are from Canada on TikTok. My biggest Canadian audience. I wouldn't have thought that, you know. I would have thought it was Facebook, but no. So, yeah, Canada. Look out, you know, what a great country. I'm so proud to be Canadian. So, yeah, number 12 goes to Rod Stewart with Maggie May. Coming in at number 11, let's get disco a little bit here. Let's go with a little Niles Rod and Le Freak by Chic. Comes in at number 11. Freak Out. Remember that? So listen to this, guys, because it's kind of interesting. Released on September 21st, 1978, this funky disco track became the band's first U.S. #1 single. The lyrics within invite the listener to come on down to 54, that is, Studio 54, a popular New York City nightclub that was home to many famous celebrities. According to legendary guitarist Nile Rodgers, This song was a result of him being refused entry. You believe that? Guy's got like, he's in the band Chic. Refused entry. He was refused entry into the popular night spot. He said the lyrics were originally meant to be F off rather than freak out. It's been a total of 6 non-consecutive weeks on Billboard's Hot 100 chart in the US. It was also a number one hit in South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, and the best country in the world, Canada. Billboard magazine ranked it as at number 3 on its list of the best songs of the year, and in 2015, it was officially inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. Song number 11 on my greatest 70 songs of all time goes to Chic with Le Freak. And now's when it gets exciting, guys. We're into the top 10. And I love the USA too, guys. Just, I know a lot of you don't agree with that, but I don't certain things, but I do love our neighbors to the south personally. I wish we just could all get along, and hopefully one day we will again. As long as we have the right leaders in place. Okay, ready for the top 10? Let's do it. I swear I never get political, so let's strike that from the record. Can we edit that? Number 10 goes to the Carpenters, and it's called Close to You. They Long to Be. Released on May 14th, 1970, this contemporary ballad was recorded by siblings Karen and Richard Carpenter. A lot of people thought they were husband and wife, but no, they're brother and sister. Together, they produced a soft musical style, combining Karen's contralto vocals with Richard's harmonizing and composition skills. With more than 100 million records sold worldwide, they are considered among the best-selling music artists of all time. It wasn't long before this tender track became a number one hit in Australia, Canada, and the US. In 1971, this song earned the Carpenters a Grammy Award for Best Contemporary Performance by a Duo. And in 2018, Billboard magazine ranked Close to You as the top single for the summer of 1970. Earlier, at number 20, I picked Love Will Keep Us Together by Captain and Tennille, and was comparing the two. And the more I think about it, it's quite the comparison between the Carpenters and Captain and Tennille. The star of each is a pretty girl. The backup person playing piano, whatnot, is either a family member, sibling, or in the case of here, a spouse. Both sang in the same kind of genres. Very interesting. But coming in at number 10, and well-deserved, Carpenters had tons of hits. If you've never discovered the Carpenters, because they kind of, I guess, flew under the radar the last 20 years, I guess times, change and stuff, but you won't regret it, especially if you like Air Supply or something like that. The Carpenters are the Air Supply of the 70s, I would say. The Air Supply being the 80s, although they had one or two songs in the late 70s. So number 10 goes to the Carpenters and Close to You. Oh yeah, I like this next one. Number 9 goes to Carly Simon, and it's called You're So Vain. Released in November 1972, this track topped the music charts in many countries around the world, including New Zealand, Australia, Canada, and the US. The lyrics within describe a self-absorbed lover whose identity has long been a matter of speculation. When asked, Carly Simon said the song refers to 3 different men, one of whom she named publicly, and that name was actor Warren Beatty. Warren Beatty never struck me as vain. Good-looking guy, but she would know better. At the 16th Annual Grammy Awards in 1974, You're So Vain was nominated for Record of the Year and Song of the Year. And in 2004, it was officially inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. In 2021, Rolling Stone magazine included it on their list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Number 9 goes to Carly Simon and You're So Vain. And maybe give a little shout out to Warren Beatty for being an inspiration. Okay, let's just take a quick look at the chat so I don't fall off the face of the earth here. And Lovely Enrique, hey, how's it going? We're getting a little group going here these days. Eh? I love you guys are great. You know, it's a great atmosphere, and I'm so happy and honored to have everybody here. Yeah, just checking down what you guys are saying, and it's so cool to have you guys like chatting amongst yourselves and joining in. If I could just play music too, this could be an all-out party. Okay, so once again, I'm DJ Ray. I'm here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock live on TikTok and now Facebook as well with my show, DJ Ray's Music Goats. Of course, GOAT standing for the greatest of all time in different music categories. Tonight's category is the greatest 1970s song of all time, from 1970 to 1979. Beauty of the internet these days is you can look up and check, but it's not going to tell you what the number one is. Everybody has their own opinions. Billboard magazine will say one thing and Rolling Stone will say another. So will DJ Ray. So, but I think DJ Ray maybe put a little more effort into his picks than Billboard and Rolling Stone. Anyways, I'm going to move on to song number 8 here. And that song goes to Tony Orlando. There's a name for you. And it's called Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around That Old Oak Tree. Released in 1973 from the album Tune Weaving, this contemporary track featured Tony Orlando's backup singers Joyce Vincent Wilson and Thelma Hopkins, better known as Dawn. It was a worldwide hit, topping the charts in Ireland, Norway, the Netherlands, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, the UK, and the US. The lyrics within are from a prisoner's point of view. Just before he's released from jail, he writes a letter to his love, asking her to tie a yellow ribbon around the tree just in front of her house, if she's still interested in renewing their relationship after all these years. If he sees the ribbon, it'll be his cue to get off the bus and be reunited. If he doesn't see it, he plans on staying on the bus and moving on. Sad. As the song closes, he can't believe his love tied 100 yellow ribbons around that old oak tree. She must really love him, or missed him, or just wanted a booty call. I don't know what it is, but she had some passion in there, 100 times the passion. By the end of 1973, Billboard magazine ranked Tie a Yellow Ribbon as the #1 song of the year. Coming in at number 8 on DJ Ray's greatest 70 songs of all time, it's Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree by Tony Orlando. How's it going, Johnny? You're new here. It's good to have you, buddy. Welcome aboard. We have a little family gathering here every Tuesday. Glad you can join us. Part of the family now. Okay, that's it. Number 8, Tony Orlando and Dawn, Tie a Yellow Ribbon, which takes us to number 7. And this one's a little sad because this person just passed away just recently. Of course, I'm speaking of Roberta Flack. And this song at number 7 is Killing Me Softly. This soul ballad was originally released by Lori Lieberman as a folk tune in 1972. However, it was Roberta Flack's 1973 version that blew up, topping the charts in Australia, Canada, and the US. Many years later in 1996, hip-hop group The Fugees recorded their own unique version of Killing Me Softly that would rival the original by topping the charts in multiple countries worldwide. In 1973, Killing Me Softly won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year, and in 1999, it was officially inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. That's the lovely and late Roberta Flack coming in at number 7 with Killing Me Softly. Wow, this is a first. Honestly, I've never had a double artist on any of my charts, and I've been doing this for about 3-4 months now, until now. Earlier, I mentioned Maggie May at number 12, and coming in at number 6, Rod Stewart, once again. He was big in the 70s with Tonight's the Night. Released in September 1976, this sexy rock ballad quickly rose to the top of the Canadian and US charts. In spite of the song's controversy at the time of its release, Tonight's the Night remained on top of the US charts for an incredible 8 consecutive weeks. This proved to be the longest run at the top of the charts in over 8 years, ever since the Beatles charted Hey Jude in 1968. It was also Rod Stewart's longest stay at number one throughout his entire career. Needless to say, Tonight's the Night is Rod Stewart's signature hit. The song features a French spoken part. That's where the sexy comes in, not Rod. And it comes from Swedish singer Britt Eklund, who was Rod Stewart's girlfriend at the time. It was originally banned by the BBC and protested by Reverend Jesse Jackson due to its suggestive lyrics, "Spread your wings and let me come inside." In spite of this, Tonight's the Night became the best-selling American single of 1977. And as of 2018, it's the 19th most popular song in the chart's history. Pretty impressive. And even equally impressive is having 2 songs on the top 20, but neither of them are number one of all time. So we got to move on, and now it's really getting into the filet mignon, the top 5. I need a drink for this one. What's going on in the chat here? Hunter, there's a new name. Welcome aboard. Glad you can make it, buddy. Is it? Sorry, I hope it's a Hunter's one of those names. Could be boy or girl. So sorry if you're can't see the picture too well. So welcome aboard either way. We have no gender bias or anything. 70s hit dance party. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm just gonna call you Al, okay? Just because I still haven't seen. You probably got back to me, but I missed it in the chat. Yeah. Well, doesn't everybody think Rod is sexy, Teddy? Okay, let's carry on to the top 5, guys. Okay, it's going to get meaty now. Okay, this one's going to be interesting. Teddy, I know that you were firm on this one, and it was a great choice by you, but unfortunately it's not going to be number 1, but it is number 5. Teddy messaged earlier that this song was going to be his choice. Not that it counts off camera. We have to do it in the chat room, but still. Number 5 goes to Queen with Bohemian Rhapsody, the 5th best song of the entire decade, the 1970s. Released in 1975, this unique track features various sections that alter the overall sound and beat throughout the song. It features an intro, a ballad segment, an operatic passage, a hard rock portion, and a reflective coda. Leave it to Freddie Mercury. Written by lead singer Freddie Mercury, he referred to Bohemian Rhapsody as a mock opera that resulted from the combination of 3 different songs he'd written. You know, was that guy like from a different planet or something? I mean, he just did things that no other artist has ever done and hit notes that no other artist ever hit, you know, but to write 3 different songs, mix it together, and make it into some mock opera that has 5 sections. I mean, yeah. The only reason it's not number 1 probably is because of its charting abilities. It really wasn't charted that high in the 70s, which we're talking about, but it just grew, and then, you know, yeah, as we're going to say here. Let's continue. Bohemian Rhapsody topped the UK charts for 9 weeks and was a number 1 hit in many other countries, including Belgium, the Netherlands, Ireland, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. In 1992, the song experienced a resurgence in popularity due to the comedy film Wayne's World. Following the release of the 2018 film Bohemian Rhapsody, it became the most streamed song from the 20th century. How about that? And when I say that, what I mean is anything from 1990 right up to 1999, most streamed song is Bohemian Rhapsody. In 2004, the song was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame, and in 2021, Rolling Stone magazine ranked it at number 17 on its list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. And you see what happened there? Bohemian Rhapsody was probably less popular in the 70s than it was in the 90s and the 2010s, because in the 90s Wayne's World came out, and that song was instrumental part of the movie. That car scene where the four of them are in the car, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And then, of course, the recent 2018 film Bohemian Rhapsody revived it again. So it's safe to say Bohemian Rhapsody is one of the greatest songs of all time, and would have been higher than number 5 if it just charted a little bit better in the 70s. People didn't get it in the 70s. It was just too weird. It was like Rocky Horror Picture Show stuff, even weirder, so it just didn't chart, just like Rocky Horror stuff didn't really chart. So a song can be great and not chart. There's many of them in the past that have done that. Anyway, sorry, Teddy, but song number 5 is Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen. Unfortunately, not number 1, but yeah, you're right. Crowds at rock concerts singing on their own. You don't need, huge. But you're going to find these next 4 songs to be pretty huge too. Maybe not your style, because we're doing all genres of the 70s, but huge nonetheless. And nothing's huge within this next one. When I think of the 70s, even though this isn't my favorite song or anything, but when I think of the 70s, I think first thing comes to mind, music was so good in the 70s, first of all, but there's so many great genres. But for some reason, the one that comes to mind is disco, because it stands out the most. And this song and this band epitomize the 70s. Number 4 is the Bee Gees with Staying Alive. Released in December 1977, this iconic disco classic was taken from the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. In the US, it would become the second of 6 number 1 singles, tying the record with the Beatles for most consecutive chart toppers. The only artist who later beat this accomplishment was Whitney Houston. Boosted by the massive popularity of Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive also topped the charts in Italy, Mexico, South Africa, Australia, and Canada, to name a few. American music critic Dave Marsh ranked it as the best single of 1978. In 2003, British music magazine Q ranked it at number 17 on its list of the 100 songs that changed the world. And in 2012, Rolling Stone magazine ranked it at number 1 on their list of the best disco songs of all time. What was I saying? Song number 4 goes to the Bee Gees, and it's called Staying Alive. What's your first favorite, Hunter? You said that 1970s is your second favorite decade. I'm going to guess. If I knew your age, I'd get it for sure, but I want to make it harder. 80s. Is that your favorite? What'd you have at 11? Oh, yeah. Yeah, see? Psychic. Okay, so number 4 goes to the Bee Gees with Staying Alive. We just did the 80s too, 2 weeks ago. Just missed it, Hunter. It was fun. And I was a little surprised myself. Rick Astley was number 1, and he topped Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, which was at number 2. I even was a little surprised by that. But again, it comes down to this. Rick Astley, what's it called again? Never Gonna Give You Up. It just seemed to get more popular with the younger generations, where Billie Jean remained a classic with the older crowd, So in essence, as of 2025, Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley is actually bigger than Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. And most Gen Xers and baby boomers are scratching their head like, how can anybody top Michael Jackson? But it happened on our 80s night. But right now we're in the 70s, and we're into the top 3 for my minor drum roll. I'll do the big one at number 1. You gotta love Rick Astley, Frankie. It's, like Thunderstruck. You gotta love it. He's sort of dorky looking, but his voice is just so rich and cool, His body doesn't match his face anyway. Anyway, this isn't about the 80s. Let's get off Rick Astley and move on to the top 3. And these are powerful. Yeah, just checking them out here. Getting a little sneak preview. I'm basically just trying to see if anybody picked the number 1 song yet. And I have news. Nobody's picked it yet. So I'm going to, let's look on Facebook here and see if anybody picked it. Sorry, guys. Oh, Jenny's on. Hey, Bobby, you made it in. Cool. Sorry, I'm focusing on TikTok so much, and I'm not giving any love to. So, Bobby, you picking Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult. And yeah, who else do we got here? Tina, Sweet City Woman. What? That's awesome. One of my favorite songs. That's a Canadian band for you, the Stampeders. Okay, so this is harder for me now, guys, because I don't just have TikTok, I have Facebook too. So I try to watch the chat on both. Tricky, but I'll get it. I'll get it. Yellow Brick Road, that's a good choice. What else do we have here? Sorry, guys, if I'm right in your face on TikTok. I'm just, I gotta make my setup a little bit better, and as time goes on, I'll make sure I get it. There's Jenny, cousin Jenny's on Facebook. Okay, I don't see Lee though. He's usually been there on the Facebook. Okay, let's do it. Let's go to the top three. I already did my little drum roll, so here we go. Song number 3, iconic, goes to the Eagles, and it's called Hotel California. Released in 1977, this legendary rock ballad features Don Henley on lead vocals. In 1998, Guitarist Magazine ranked the guitar solo on this track as the best of all time. I have to agree. The only other two that would match it is Stairway to Heaven and Freebird, in my opinion. But Guitarist Magazine ranks it number 1. It was performed by musicians Don Felder and Joe Walsh, in which they both took turns playing the lead before harmonizing together towards the fade out. Rare for a rock track to perform so well in the contemporary music charts, this song reached the top 10 in many countries around the world, including France, Germany, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Spain, Switzerland, and the UK. It also topped the charts in both Canada and the US. In 1978, Hotel California won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year, and in 2003, it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. Hotel California, amazing song by the Eagles, comes in at number 3. Wow, this is getting exciting. 2 more. We had quite a few rock songs on here, I had noticed. I thought, because usually in the 70s, rock wasn't charting quite as good as obviously disco and contemporary stuff, like the Carpenters and all that, and Elton John and Rod Stewart. Well, I guess Rod Stewart is rock, but Do You Think I'm Sexy wasn't so rockish. I know my cousin Jenny's a big, is she still there? Yeah. Yeah. My cousin Jenny on Facebook Live is a huge Rod Stewart fan. She's been about my age now. She's been a Rod Stewart fan since we were knee-high to a grasshopper. Right, Pen and Pal? Okay, let's move on. Number 2, greatest 70s songs. Not songs. Greatest, songs, because I'm counting down the top 20. But I'm looking for the greatest number 1 GOAT. And this one's not it. Nobody said it. I'm a little surprised. I got to just double check Facebook. Okay, so I'm a little surprised nobody picked it, but it comes in at number 2, and maybe I missed it. So if I did, you guys will correct me. I know you will. Released. Well, let me tell you what it is first. Gloria Gaynor comes in at number 2 with I Will Survive. Released on October 23rd, 1978, this legendary disco track is frequently regarded as an anthem for the LGBTQ empowerment. At the 22nd Annual Grammys, it was nominated for Record of the Year and won the award for Best Disco Recording. In 1998, the French national soccer team made I Will Survive their unofficial anthem. France would go on to win the FIFA World Cup, and the song experienced renewed popularity among the younger generations. In the year 2000, VH1 ranked I Will Survive at number 1 on its list of the 100 greatest dance songs. And in 2012, Rolling Stone magazine placed it at number 2 on their list of the best disco songs of all time. Earlier this year, in 2025, Billboard magazine placed it at number 2 on their list of the top 100 breakup songs of all time. In 2012, I Will Survive was officially inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. Coming in at number 2 on DJ Ray's greatest 70s song of all time, it's Gloria Gaynor with I Will Survive. We are discoing a little bit. We were doing a little bit of everything from the 70s. A little disco, a little contemporary, a little rock, a little ballads. We're doing everything. Best decade ever in music, at least in my opinion. Everybody, a lot of people say 80s, but most people that say 80s aren't Gen Xers or baby boomers. Because if you're a Gen X or a baby boomer, you were spoiled. Because even the 60s were pretty amazing. Even the 50s were pretty good. And then, I think the 80s were good chart-wise, but a lot of fluff with the new wave and, and stuff like that. But, there's a lot of great songs in the 80s, a lot of great bands. Anyway, let's get back to the 70s. I could just go back to the 70s and stay there forever. If I had my choice, I would. Okay, you guys ready for the big drum roll? The number 1 song? And I just noticed somebody said it. But let me just see who it was. I don't think it was anybody. Yeah, of course, Hunter. You can tell me your favorite music artist. Just type it in right in the chat there. For sure. That's right. You're right, Bobby. That is the CPR song. I didn't even know that, until I was doing my homework. That was good. The bubble gum, yes, I like it. I love bubble gum, but not when I'm trying to talk, because it's okay, let's do it. Number 1, all time, 70s song of any genre goes to ABBA, and it's called Dancing Queen. And we have a champion, and I believe it is, if I can... Hunter, you like Michael Jackson? Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to probably have to get a moderator come in with me next week with these 2 lives. A big tough guy. Oh, nice pick, Thunderbird. Beth by Kiss. No, it wasn't. It didn't chart that well, unfortunately. It was just one of those songs like Stairway to Heaven, that amazing, iconic tune, but just didn't chart well. And Beth, the thing is with Beth by Kiss is that it didn't age as good unless you're a Gen Xer or something. It didn't age to the younger crowd, where something like Stairway to Heaven, it's always big. Anyway, let's get back to the 70s. Number 1, Dancing Queen by ABBA. Released in August 1976, the mass popularity of this legendary Euro disco track remains intact to this very day. It became ABBA's only number 1 hit in the US, while topping the charts in Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, Portugal, Spain, Mexico, the UK, Canada, check this, even the Soviet Union. I don't think I've ever seen a song chart in the Soviet Union. That's kind of cool. The song's release cemented ABBA as an international act and signified the beginning of the group's classic period, which would span over the next 4 years. Both Billboard and Rolling Stone magazines ranked Dancing Queen as the number 1 song on their respective lists of the greatest ABBA songs. In 2023, it was ranked at number 2 on Billboard's list of the 500 best pop songs. And in 2015, Dancing Queen was officially inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. I have to admit that I've always had a crush on singer Agnetha Falskog. Try saying that 5 times real quick. And for those of you who aren't sure which girl that is, let's just say that I have a thing for blondes. Coming in at number 1 on DJ Ray's greatest 70 songs of all time, it goes to ABBA and Dancing Queen. And that one shows you, that's a perfect example of a song that was great in the 70s, number 1 all over the world, and great now. If I were to go do a wedding, or not even a wedding, if I was DJing in a nightclub or whatever, I put it on. It's like people know it. If I were to put Beth by Kiss on in a nightclub right now, they'd all be looking around scratching their head like, what is this? That's how you know you're getting old. But no, it's not just about how well a song does in the charts. It's about how it ages when I put these together. And a lot of the charts like Billboard and Rolling Stone and stuff like that, they don't take that into consideration. So that's why I think I put a little more thought into it and put the whole thing together. As of 2025, I would say Dancing Queen by ABBA is the greatest 70s song of all time. Not my personal favorite. I like it, but not far from my personal favorite, but the number one nonetheless. So yeah, that pretty much sums up this episode. But just before I let you go, I want to make some honorable mentions of songs that I had to, some honorable mentions go to, I've been saying it through the whole thing, Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, Imagine by John Lennon, Sweet Home Alabama by Lynyrd Skynyrd, Midnight Train to Georgia by Gladys Knight, Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves by Cher, Lean on Me by Bill Withers, The Way We Were by Barbra Streisand, Bad Blood by Neil Sedaka, Let's Stay Together by Al Green, The Joker by Steve Miller, Three Times a Lady by Commodores, Bad Leroy Brown by Jim Croce. You might forget this one, but it was huge. You Light Up My Life by Debbie Boone, My Sharona by The Knack, Shadow Dancing by Andy Gibb, and Joy to the World by Three Dog Night. All on my honorable mentions list. Just couldn't fit them on the list. Next week, April 22nd, Tuesday at 8 p.m. live, it's going to be the greatest girl group of all time. A few weeks ago, I did the greatest boy group. Can't remember who won that. Anyway, I did the greatest boy group. And next Tuesday, 8 o'clock on Facebook and TikTok Live, I'm going to do the greatest girl group. So, and by the way, guys, if you have any suggestions on themes, like if you want to know who try to keep it to things all people will like, not like, the greatest, flute player of all time or something, you know what I mean? But yeah, you have a good week too, Ricky. Thank you for coming. Yes, it is, Lisa, a great one. Feel free to mention it. I always like to take requests and I'll do the whole, hi, Mike, how you doing? JT, what's going on, buddy? And with that, so next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, April 22nd, live right here on TikTok and Facebook. And in the meantime, please be sure and check me out on social media. I'm on most of the major platforms, and you can easily find me by just going to that platform, going to the search and typing in DJ Ray's Music, and I'll come up. Alternately, you can check out my official website at djraysmusic.com. And once again, thank you guys for all the love. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Mary. It was a great night on my behalf, too. Next week's, like I said, Thunderbird will be the greatest girl group of all time. I don't want to give any examples, because, but, like all girls, pop groups of all time. And I'm going to be going back quite a ways. So it's not just, Spice Girls and that's it. Oops. But yeah, so hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday, 8 o'clock live right here on Facebook or TikTok. And again, I'd like to thank you all for joining me. Have a great Tuesday night, and thank you, and we'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.